How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my story on how I built a pretty significant amount of trading capital at the age of 22 years old. And I'm going to be sharing some ways that you can build your trading account in your own journey if you are struggling and you don't have a lot of money to trade with and you're looking to get that small account into a bigger account. I'm going to give you some ways and some ideas that worked in my journey to build up some trading capital. Make sure if you have an idea, if you have some way to build capital or start a side business to make some extra money, leave it in the comments down below and let everyone know. Now, trading is not my only source of income. I also have a software business and a social media consulting business where I work with clients to help them with their own social medias. And in today's video, I'm going to share a little bit about my journey as well as kind of the steps I took to get to the point where I had a significant amount of trading capital, which does go forward to help pay my bills and pay the expenses that I do have. I'm self-employed at 22 years old, which I'm extremely proud about, but it was not an easy road and I had a lot of help to get there. So let me tell you guys a little bit about my story and we'll go ahead and get into the video right now. So welcome back, guys. If you're new here, my name is Nick. I make all sorts of trading educational content here on YouTube for free. I do ask that if my content is helpful to you, make sure you subscribe down below and also give this video a thumbs up if it is something that's interesting or maybe even helpful to you. Now, here's the thing. It takes money to make money. You've heard that saying, everyone's kind of heard that thing before, but the thing is, when it comes to trading, it's really no different. Trading requires capital in order to make any sort of significant amount of money. But before I even traded or even knew much about Forex at all, I was making money through other ways. And that's a little bit of what I'm going to share with you today. And maybe it'll help you out in your own journey. If you have a smaller trading account and you would like to kind of find ways to build up that trading capital, the best way, in my opinion, is rather than trying to put a ton of risk on your small trading account, find other real-life ways to make some sort of money and to move that money into your currency market kind of account, right? So for me, one of the ways that I built the account was I started out as a kid, even kind of early teens, cutting grass. Cutting grass is a simple, really effective business if you have some time, if you have some energy. During the winter, there's not as much opportunity there. However, another way that you can do this is to pressure wash for people. If you don't have a lot of money, it's relatively simple to kind of save up enough to go buy a pressure washer. You can get a decent one for some reasonable price and take that money and slowly kind of collect clients and collect and build up your income until you have enough that you can start making deposits into your Forex trading account. Another great way, if you're looking to make some sort of extra income to build your trading account, is Upwork.com. If you don't know what Upwork is, this is a place where you can get on there and you can work for other people and basically freelance and do projects for people for some sort of software development, or you can do design work or any sort of kind of odd jobs that people will post up there. Saving money and building up capital over time is a really, really great way, and if you do it for long enough and you continue to work hard and you build trading capital, then when you actually step into your trading account, assuming that you backtested your plan and you have a consistency to your trading, this can be a great way to actually build a decent amount of money and make a decent amount of money from your trading. Now, in my case, the next step for me was I found Craigslist. And if you don't know what Craigslist is, it's basically a website where you can go on and you can kind of look for things in your area, like locally buy things. For example, if you want to buy a couch or you want to buy a bed frame and things like these plants that you can get off Craigslist. And what I found is that around 15 or 16, maybe even 17 years old, in that area, I started recognizing there were items on Craigslist for sale that were way under fair value. So what I started to do is I started to go find items that I thought I could sell for more on eBay or sell on Craigslist again. And I started to go pick up these items. I'd have to go drag my dad or drag my mom. I'd go buy something like an iPhone, which was what I really started to flip quite a bit. I would go on to Craigslist and I'd go find these people who had old iPhones or something and they didn't want them anymore. I'd go snatch them up and I'd buy them for a low price and I'd go sell them at a higher price. Now again, mind you, this is before I knew anything about trading. However, this really kind of carried over into my trading style because I look for pullbacks and buying low and selling high even in my trading today. Right? So really, this was the basis of understanding kind of entrepreneurship. And when you're a trader, when you're running your own trading business, you really are being an entrepreneur. So I started flipping iPhones on Craigslist and I started to make a decent amount of money. And I was pretty proud of this, and I was pretty excited about this, But one day my dad came to me and he said, hey Nick, why don't we look into some bigger items? The thing that we started to look for is we started to look for kind of ATVs, four-wheelers, tractor equipment, that sort of stuff. Because my dad and I, we both love kind of working outside and that sort of thing. So we started looking around Craigslist. So after a few hours of searching, we found our first potential target. We found a Kubota, I believe it was a 2210 or something like that. It's been years since we did this. But we found a Kubota tractor and we started scanning around the internet, searching up, hey, how can I, how much money is this thing really worth? Now notice guys, this is still before I knew anything about trading. We're gonna get there, I promise, but let's continue on with the story. So we get there and I see this tractor for $8,000 and we decide, okay, we can probably sell this for $12,000 to $13,000 and make a really nice profit on this. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. We bought the tractor, we brought it back to Atlanta. We had to cross over the border into Alabama. We bought the tractor, we brought it back and we flipped it. Now it took about a month, and for me, this was my first lesson in drawdown, right? Because I was sitting there with my $8,000 invested in a tractor, and this was kind of scary for me because my money was all tied up in the machine and I had no idea if I was going to get the money back. So this, for me, is like a drawdown in trading. If you don't know what a drawdown is, essentially it's just when your money is kind of tied up in a trade and it's negative or it's just kind of flat and you're waiting for the profit to potentially come. So sure enough, eventually we had a buyer and we sold the tractor for a profit. And this was the start for me of a kind of doing this again and again. So we started to search more. I found a Polaris Ranger, if you are familiar with that. It's a four-wheeler, and I bought this one for some amount of money and sold it for another amount of money. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but this was a couple years ago. But again, we started doing this again and again, and I was making good money off of this. Now I will say there were some bumps along the way. For example, we had one machine that had some problems with it. We had to put money into it and we barely made any money on it. I say we because again, my dad was helping me out along the way, but ultimately it was a really, really good experience and I built trading capital from doing this. But the point of this, guys, is that in the end, I built up a pretty decent trading capital just from cutting grass. And this is not something special. This is not something, some amazing story that nobody can do. This is something that you can do, and this is something that anybody can do. You can start looking for opportunities and ways in your life to build up your trading capital. Now for me, the next step was to take this money. Along the way, I had started learning about the stock market. I had started learning about the currency market, and it was just fascinating to me that you could build money or you could kind of collect, you could buy low and sell high in an actual automated kind of internet-based market. To me, this was it blew my mind because I had been traveling all around and working on equipment and fixing it and reselling it, reposting it, and meeting clients and renting out equipment. That was another thing we did was we would hold it, we would rent it for a while, and then we would sell it. So kind of all of this stuff went into building up to the point where I traded Forex. And when I started getting into Forex, it was just amazing to me that you could buy and sell on the internet. Rather than going anywhere. I could sit at my computer and I could just kind of work and operate and buy low and sell high from there. Now, of course, trading is not easy, and what I found is that it still, even in the currency market and the stock market, it takes money to make money. And so having that capital has been a huge advantage for me in my trading because I've been able to kind of go for realistic gains. Small percentages per month will still mean a significant amount of money to me. So even I can live off of 1% to 3% per month. In fact, that's kind of my target. And if that sounds ridiculous or sounds like a very little amount to you, then kind of the point is you have to realize that I'm working with a capital amount that makes it kind of seem more realistic. And the primary goal for me is to keep that risk as low as possible and that reward as much as possible. And so to do that, kind of all that hard-earned money that I've built up over the time that I had been doing these businesses, it was a huge deal to me to be able to kind of, just make profit from my computer and to build up kind of capital that way. And over time, scale the money that I had made into more money. And that to me is really the name of the game when it comes to trading and investing, is rather than trying to make millions really quickly or tons of money really quickly, to me the value or the power of trading and investing is to scale your wealth over time and to build up trading capital, kind of compound the gains that you've made. So to me, the best thing that you can do as a trader is not to rely solely on the capital in your account. to me, the best thing you can do is to combine it with multiple sources of income. What you're watching right now, the YouTube channel. I get paid by advertisements here on YouTube. I also do some software work and build trading tools for kind of traders and investors, such as the currency strength meter, such as the COT report data that we are currently building. I also do social media marketing consulting and kind of working with clients to help them grow their audience on the internet. There are also plenty of other ways that you can also build up trading capital. In my own story, I kind of took the route of flipping things and kind of doing some sort of landscaping for people, but there are other ways that you can build your trading capital. For example, some of the ways that I know my friends made money is doing car washing for people, doing odd jobs for people. One of my buddies is really big into pressure washing and has made some money doing that. And simply finding some sort of extra work. If you have time on the weekends and you're willing to, you could get a secondary job and you could build trading capital like that. Any way that you can make some sort of extra income to deposit into your trading account is going to potentially make the profits you can make more sustainable or more easy to achieve. The more trading capital that you have in your account, the easier it is to make some sort of amount. For example, if you're going to make 1% on a $100 account, that's only $1. But if you can build a trading capital up to $1,000 or even $10,000, that 1% is going to be $10 to $100 on the account. One of the members in our VIP community recently told me a little bit about their story. Now, I won't name their name, but this particular person is a barber in a salon, and he actually has been able to build up a decent amount of trading capital by living extremely frugally. At this point, he's been able to be part-time trading and working at the salon. So there are different routes for everybody. Everybody's journey can be a little different. So whatever your circumstances are, whatever your skills are, find a way to use your skills and to build money so that you can deposit into your trading account and continue to learn in the meantime. My channel has a ton of stuff here for you for free. Check out the playlist section. I've got a couple different free courses for you to check out and to learn more about Forex trading for free. You don't have to pay anything if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the currency market. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I do hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that you get some sort of ideas. Look for opportunities in your community. Look for ways that you can kind of make some sort of money. It's all around us. There are opportunities out there, but the opportunities come to the people who get up and go. So good luck, guys, and thanks. Comment down below what you thought of the video. Thanks so much. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you, and we'll catch you next time.